the man who's going to be waving the terrible towel before the game, Joe Manganiello. Good to see you, sir.
Welcome to my island.
This is your island?
As they say.
Here?
Yes. As the Irishmen say in Braveheart.
Yes.
Welcome to my island.
This is it, man, right? I mean, so now you have resting on your right knee right now what looks like a camouflage version of the terrible towel. Is this what you're going to be waving tonight?
This is our Salute the Veterans towel. I'm actually deferring tonight to the veterans.
Meaning what?
Meaning I was going to wave the towel, but
yes,
instead we're going to have a group of veterans waving the towel.
Way to go, man. That's awesome.
And they have these really cool, Salute the Veterans camo towels.
There it is. It is like a camo towel. It's like some gray and then the black and gold of the Steelers all mixed together.
I don't know where you're hiding when you're wearing this particular camo.
It's not camouflage anything.
You're hiding at the Warhol Museum.
That's right.
No one will ever find you.
Yeah. Some Jackson Pollock painting or something like that.
You're hiding in the middle of a French fry sandwich.
Yeah, but that'll be neat, man. You're out there on the field and all these vets. And
love it.
You're wearing a Steelers Salute to Service Month hat right now with the American flag on the side.
Yeah.
Now, you've done the towel waving thing before, right?
I've done it several times, yes, over the course of my...
What is the young Dungeons and Dragons playing Joe Manganiello growing up here? What does that mean to you?
As opposed to the old Dungeons
and
Dragons?
I know. Don't worry. We're going to get to that. We had Taryn Killam in studio a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me he was going over to your house to, play it or draft.
We made his character.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Joe's like, move on.
What is that? No. I'll talk about it all day.
Okay.
But no, what would young me? I mean, listen. After the game on Sunday, I was texting back and forth with Ryan Shazier. And we were texting about the game, and
he's awesome.
He's the best, and he's a great guy. Like just a good, solid guy who wants to be the best there ever was.
So what were you texting with him about?
I hooked him up with an interior decorator. So I was asking him how it was going.
We need to back this ship up just a little bit here. Okay.
Yeah.
So you, Joe Manganiello, and Ryan Shazier connect at some point in your lives.
That's right.
And then where did this interior decorating situation
we hung out, and I told him I was going to wear his color rush jersey next year, and you're my favorite guy in defense, and I know Cam Hayward's going to give me flack for saying that out loud, though.
Okay.
But we just struck up a friendship, and then he hit me up one day and said, "Hey, who's that interior decorator that you know? Don't you know somebody?" And I said, "Yeah," and I hooked him up. And
here in Pittsburgh, or
actually from Boston.
Okay.
From Boston, yeah. Funny enough, I see Chris over here is wearing. This was laundry day, I guess. You didn't have any Steelers gear clean.
Actually, here's even worse: is that this is how he was on the plane yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, have you changed since?
No. Well, I didn't want to bring a separate suitcase to Pittsburgh, so I literally just took a T-shirt, socks, and underwear.
Oh, you left everything in New York?
In my backpack, I left everything in New York.
Yeah, because we're going back to New York for tomorrow.
Light travel.
What hotel are you staying at, Chris? I want to set your wake-up call tonight.
I'm at the Fairmont downtown.
You are wearing the wrong gear for this town.
All right. But
I'm not wearing any Patriots gear. I'm wearing a Red Sox hat and a Celtics shirt.
It's assumed. It's sort of like the way people view gateway drugs. These are the gateway drugs towards the Patriot fandom that you're wearing with the Red Sox hat and the Celtics zip up.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't wear this if I was staying for the game and standing on the sideline. I know better than that.
Wow. That is true.
Okay.
I'll at least vouch
I'll give
for
you
that.
credit for that.
Before we move on from this subject, do we know what style of decorating Ryan Shazier is partial to? Do we know?
Hopefully there will be some sort of spread in an upcoming magazine after this interview.
In Pittsburgh Central or whatever? Or is there a Pittsburgh magazine that you probably know? You've probably been on the cover of it.
Sure.
Something like that?
Yeah, we could do that. I'm hoping I'm going to get my invitation over to see how it's going. Yeah.
Look at you. You're such a fanboy.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
No, he's the best.
He's a good dude.
It's literally called Pittsburgh Magazine.
It's literally called
Yeah. It's literally called Pittsburgh Magazine. So.
Well, we just gave him a nice idea. Here's Ryan Shazier at home, nice, mild-mannered young man who went to the wrong school. And then, now he probably likes some old school decorating. He probably has that. He probably tends to be more of an old school smash mouth.
That's
type
a
of
good
guy.
question. I'll ask him. Not before the game tonight, though. I think he's going to stay focused. Stay focused on football. Hey, Ryan, by the way,
yeah, right.
Mediterranean or I don't know. I don't know what decorating.
You bust up him like screaming if they want to eat a W tonight. Like they're, I don't know if you've been out of the country for the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I was in Iceland. Yeah.
Now what were you doing up there in Iceland?
I was shooting an adventure short film for Eddie Bauer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, because I follow you on Instagram along with 500,000 people, and there are all these beautiful shots of you hanging out on fjords, and then am I wrong?
No. We had a guide. This great guide company took us around to places that people don't go,
right?
Like untouched, unspoiled places you can only get to by driving a monster truck through a river. Mm-hmm. They're designed to keep tourists out. Like cabins up in the middle of mountain chains, blizzarding, where the bathroom is outside and you've got to walk 100 yards to in the blizzard if you got to go. And then there's the hot springs out in the right outside, and
beautiful
ice climbing inside of glaciers, and mountain biking.
Are you normally an outdoors person like that? Or?
I love the outdoors. I was the young Dungeons and Dragons playing me surely was. Yeah, definitely was. But I got away from it. Mm-hmm. You get older, you play sports, you're around, you got stuff to do, you got a career, so you don't really get to it. But
the dice only have 6 sides.
Or 20. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But no, it's great to get back because I love doing that stuff. I love doing scary things.
Well, I know you always have to get your workout in. Who's your workout partner?
My workout partner in Iceland?
Yes.
Hafthor Bjornsson.
The Mountain
from Game of Thrones.
Wow.
Now, what is it like working out with the Mountain?
It's
Joe.
Like, I don't know. It's like it would be like bringing your kid to CrossFit. Your child. That's what I felt like.
By the way, is there a bring your kid to CrossFit day at CrossFit?
Sure.
By the way,
yeah, it's like with like a baby rattle, and the kid like slams it on the ground, thinking he's
bring your kid to CrossFit day,
doing a clean and jerk with a baby rattle. Yeah, it was like that. I mean, you walk in the gym. So first of all, I'm 6'5", 230.
Yeah.
And I've lost some weight for some roles that I just did where I didn't need all that mass. So I'm kind of like I'm a skinny, like a thin 230 right now. Mm-hmm. This guy's 6'9", 400, and he was 420. He lost some weight because he wanted abs. He's got these like ripped abs now.
Yeah.
6'9", 400 deadlifts. If you look online, he's got videos of him deadlifting 1,000 pounds. The day before we got in, he squatted 972.
Come on.
It's
he squatted half a ton?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
give or take a pound.
Give or take a kilo.
Well, I mean,
it's insane. He's gigantic.
My experience with the Mountain, something I never thought I would say to you or into a microphone ever, is that I shot a Katy Perry video with the Mountain this summer. Take a look at the look I'm getting right now.
That is an eclectic cast.
Well, that's an absurd sentence that you just said.
But it's the truth.
I know it is.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing false about it. With him and Bill Walton.
What?
Okay.
Was this a Conan the Destroyer remake?
No, it was a basketball related music video.
He was a basketball player.
By the way, I just love how you're acting like you don't follow Katy Perry's videos and you didn't see it yourself. But I did take a photograph and I put it on my Instagram account. That is me with the Mountain and Bill Walton, and it looks like I'm the cardboard cutout in between two monsterly large human beings.
Yeah, it looks like two normal-sized guys with this other guy in the middle.
with Hervé Villachez, if he was Jewish and bald. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about the Steelers and where you think this team is going. We'll talk some more football with Joe Manganiello and what you're up to outside of ice climbing with the Mountain.
Oh,
okay. We'll see what else is going on.
All
right. Back in 60 seconds with Joe Manganiello here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, we're here in Heinz Field. Before we talk about this game, Joe Manganiello, who we've loved for years, and True Blood, the Spider-Man trilogy, Magic Mike ×2, and you just showed a video of you working out with the Mountain.
Yes.
And him just a monster-sized individual, and all of his normal workout partners in Iceland, right?
Yeah.
They looked like Bond villains. Every last one of them.
They really did.
I want to
remake
a James Bond movie. I want to remake Conan with Hafthor, and just cast all of his buddies. They're all these giant tattooed monsters. But what was great is I walk in the gym and Hafthor's like, "Put on Walk by Pantera." So I'm like,
that's
great.
workout music.
This is that was my first concert. I'm like, I love this. I'm like, we're gonna be best friends. And then he's like, they hand me this jar of ammonia, and they're like, snort, sniff that, like snort it, get it up there. Have you ever snorted ammonia? Rich,
it's before a workout? That sounds like a line from Airplane.
Right. Like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing ammonia.
Hey, have you ever sniffed ammonia? Scraps is a boy dog. No, I have never. Although, hold on a minute. I did years ago on the sideline of Thursday Night Football see on the ground one of those snapped open smelling salts.
Yeah.
Picked it up, thought to myself, okay, it's right around the third quarter. So whatever this is on the ground was before the game.
Yeah, we play Renegade in the third quarter.
It's just
I don't know what other teams do.
I picked it up and I grabbed it and I smelled it like boom, like wow, my head just blew apart.
Now you're ready to deadlift in Iceland,
right? Oh man, we're here in Pittsburgh, PA again, in Myron Cope's suite. Joe Manganiello, what does that mean to you that Myron Cope used to sit in that chair? Right there, calling games here in Pittsburgh.
It means
PA.
yoy and double yoy.
Right.
And if you're from here, you know what that means. Did you go sit in the chair?
I did,
like
actually.
President?
We took a photograph. We grabbed a snapshot of Myron sitting in the chair, and I had the same sort of stance, too.
Yeah, we missed that guy.
Yeah.
He was the best.
He was as passionate as he come. And the Terrible Towel was based on his idea.
I used to shut off, when I was growing up, I would shut off the game on put it on mute on the TV and listen to the radio.
Listen to Myron Cope?
Yeah.
Who was your Steeler growing up? Who was your guy?
Greg Lloyd. Greg Lloyd, the meanest dude ever. And I got to hang out with Coach Cower last year. I went to Mr. Rooney's funeral this year, and afterwards I spent some time with Coach Cower, and I was asking him about the rush the quarterback. Look at me. Rush the quarterback.
And what did he tell you?
He said Greg was the meanest dude ever, but he said he would listen to me. He wouldn't listen to anybody else, but he would listen to me. So he would just give Greg these orders, and like a Terminator robot, Greg would go out there and just annihilate people.
So he was coachable.
Yeah, only somehow Cower had he was like the Lloyd whisperer.
Yeah, we had Ed Bouchette on in hour number 1 of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and I'm sure you've been reading him for forever and a day.
Oh, yeah.
And he said he puts Tomlin up there with both Knoll and Cower.
Yeah,
without a question.
Look, I mean,
but you hear so much stuff in this town about Tomlin this, Tomlin that, and every single time I hear from any Steeler fan on this show, on my Twitter feed, if you somehow the Rooneys will never do it because they know what they have. But if they ever decide to move on from Tomlin, he would be somebody else's coach literally by the end of the day.
Immediately, but I don't think anybody's talking about that. I mean, you look at the first 10 years of a coaching tenure. Look at his record. Look at his stats. You'd be hard pressed to find. I think there's only 2 other coaches that are even in the history of the NFL that are in that category. And as far as your record in through their first 10 years, so I don't think anybody's talking about that now. I also think he's a really good coach who's had to deal with a lot of stuff. And I think he's dealt with it really well.
We have no idea, although you might, since you're giving interior decorating text, advice to Ryan Shazier. But I think we have no idea of if there is a Steeler iceberg filled with everything from Big Ben's injuries to Big Ben's desire to play football, to Antonio Brown's Facebook living, to whatever that means he's also doing, to Martavis Bryant, to what happened with Al Villanueva this year. And if that's the iceberg, that's the tip of what we know of what's going on with this team and Mike Tomlin.
I think that's the whole iceberg, what you just said there.
Is that really the whole iceberg?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Now, is this knowing what the iceberg is? Do you know the iceberg? We're not talking about Iceland.
You're asking if I'm throwing up a smokescreen now for the organization?
Yes,
no, I think what you're talking about is exactly what I'm talking about when I refer to what Tomlin has put up with. But I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I think the team, we do have a great group of young players. I think the defense is populated with a bunch of guys who are all about being the best. They worked really, really, really hard this year, and I think it shows. So no, I think you've got a team that's really working hard. I think you've got an offense that's finding its sea legs. That I think we're waiting for it to really click.
But why do you think that the sea legs have not been found yet? It's not really much of a different. It's not a different scheme, not a different coordinator, a different quarterback, not a different prime receiver, not a different prime running back, not a different offensive line.
No, but I think if you look at all those pieces, how much prior to this season had all those pieces played together on one field at one time?
So the holdout? You're talking about the Le'Veon holdout?
I'm talking about missing players last year for entire seasons. You know, I mean there's chemistry. You know, I think when you look at every time LeBron switches a team, it takes him however long to figure out everyone's role and how they're going to play, and then later on in the season they click. But it's never a situation. LeBron's first season with a new team is never a situation where they're gonna try to break the all-time wins record for the season.
Right.
It takes them a little while to figure things out, and I think that's what's going on right now.
Or in the case of the current LeBron team, all the different people that are new to him. I mean, they're on their first 3-game winning streak right now after in October and early November was when what gives. But it's a long season.
Yeah.
Now we've got 7 games left here.
Sure. And the other thing is, are you worried about the Cavs' playoff prospects?
I'm not. No, I am not, because it's still. And I'm. Look, the Steelers have the Chiefs' number. It's amazing.
We do.
Okay. The Patriots have your number.
Yes.
Okay.
And the Chiefs kind of have the
Patriots number. Everybody's got each other's number.
Yeah.
They got to exchange numbers. Yeah. Everybody's got to exchange numbers.
And the Ravens are out, who usually have the Patriots number.
Right. They're not out yet.
So it's a very...
Hold on a second.
Well...
The Ravens also can have your number on occasion.
True. And
they're not out yet.
But the Jaguars also play the type of ball that we used to play.
I know.
Somewhat.
And the
Ravens used to play.
And the Titans play that ball.
Sure.
Big game tonight. Dick LeBeau's
It is
tonight.
A big game tonight. So here's the thing. You can say what you want, but we're 7-2 sitting on top of the AFC right now.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you can, in your opinion, has worked or hasn't worked, that's the case. So it's it's in our hands heading into the second half of the season.
You coming back here mid-December for the Patriot visit?
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. Yeah.
What are you working on?
What am I working on, like work-wise?
Yeah, what do you got?
I produced and starred in and co-wrote a film that is in editing right now that we shot in the Bronx in New York. Centered sort of around baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're in editing. I'm going to see the first assembly next week, actually.
Okay. And when's the superhero stuff that you're not allowed to talk about? Can you talk about
the stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about?
Right.
That stuff.
Are you allowed to talk about it yet?
No. But here's what I'll say.
Do I have to ask Ryan Shazier about it, Joe, to get something?
Oh, Ryan knows everything. Ryan and I have no secrets with each other.
Well, when you talk sconces with another man, I mean, I think it's all fair game.
Yeah.
So,
when you talk doilies with your middle linebacker, no, we. I'll say this about the supervillain stuff: very, very soon.
I mean, you literally told us nothing.
Than anyone thinks.
Tonight? Tonight? Halftime?
Could be.
Okay.
Could be tonight.
All right.
Could be Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It could be in the springtime. It could be all of them.
Right.
It could be all of this stuff.
Oh my God.
But let's go back to Dick LeBeau. I love Dick LeBeau. I miss Dick LeBeau. I'm glad that Dick is still coaching. Dick's amazing. Dick changed the game.
He did.
3-4 defense. I mean, you changed the draft when you do that. He figured out a way to cheat the draft because all of a sudden we're looking at different types of players that nobody else is, and we have our run of it.
Well, I know this, that when Bud Dupree got drafted, I remember you called me, and you're like, okay, what do we got here? Mm-hmm. And I told you how his measurements we had at the Combine were the same as Willie McGinnis. The same.
Interesting.
the same.
Yeah.
And look at he is just all that now, man.
And outside linebacker is really one of those positions where all those intangibles, those measurements, actually really do matter.
Right.
You know, there's a curve to it, and if you're not an athletic freak, you're not going to be a quality outside linebacker. Period. Like it doesn't work that way. The numbers don't dictate that, but he is. He's a monster.
Well, dude, thanks for coming here. Appreciate that.
Man,
thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming down the street to my.
You got it. Thanks for bringing your mom too.
Yeah, that's my mom.
There's your mom right over here.
She's from Boston, but she's a huge Steeler fan.
That's all right. I'm okay with that. My dad is a lifelong Steeler fan, so I'm good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where's your dad from?
We're from Harrisburg.
Oh, Harrisburg,
he's
the
from,
state capital?
He's a military brat.
Yeah,
though.
I was
He's
born in Harrisburg
everywhere.
General Hospital.
He's been everywhere.
Interesting.
His dad works in the Coast Guard down in Florida.
In Tampa,
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of everything in him. He's a hybrid. He's a hybrid over here.
Wow.
Good to see you, Joseph.
Great seeing you.
Thank you. Enjoy whatever Dungeons and Dragoning that you're doing.
Oh, yeah. We're going to play live at an event in Brooklyn on Saturday.
Dude,
you're welcome to come.
What do you mean live?
Come over to my house with Taryn. We'll make you a character.
Hold
we'll whip you one up.
First of all, what does your wife think of the Dungeons and Dragons?
She actually makes a nice spread whenever people come over.
By the way, I think we should totally go over and do this, and we'll film it.
Now you actually care about Dungeons and Dragons. But all right.
I'm no dummy.
Let's just take a break. We'll come back. We'll finish up the show with Joe.
Okay.
Talk about and I will tell you about what the Saints did. Okay.
Okay.
What the Saints have done. Okay. That I think is a big change. It's going to be a huge factor.
Dungeons and Dragons when we come back.
Okay. That's a call to tease. Back in the morning. Joe Manganiello, good to see you, sir. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. The Saints have been are 7-2. Despite being 30th in punt returns, 28th in kick returns, 28th in covering kicks, 27th in covering punts. Their special teams are a hot mess. And the field goal unit has been difficult to watch at times as well. So Sean Payton went deep into the Parcells family tree and got Mike Westhoff, who's been retired for a few years right now, off his boat in Florida, essentially, to come in and become the special teams coach. Now, the coaches who are in charge of special teams right now are still there, including Bradford Banta, who is in his first year right now. But Mike Westhoff is going to come in and basically straighten this whole thing out. That is huge news for the Saints. And we'll see how it all – I'm telling you, you're going to watch it get fixed. This guy's awesome. Straight from the fruit of the Parcells family coaching tree. So those are my 2 cents on that. Final poll question results. What do you have over there?
Yeah, a 4-5 team, best chance to make the playoffs. The Raiders, 49%.
We'll see. It's a big game. You're rooting for the Raiders against the Patriots, right? Or do you want the Patriots coming in here, Joe?
No, Raiders. You know, you got to root for the Raiders because we want to keep that pad going for home field advantage.
Yeah, that photograph I took of the Immaculate Reception statue in the airport last night. You liked it. All the Steeler fans liked it. Raider fans didn't kind of like that.
It's touching the ground.
I know.
Yeah.
So on tomorrow's show in our New York studio, Paul Reiser is going to be showing up. Ben McKenzie of Gotham is showing up as well.
All right.
And then we will have the Nick Saban ripped jeans soliloquy.
Country music song.
Set to country music.
Yes.
We're going to do
Look
that.
for me at a press junket somewhere in the near future to just go on a tirade about jeans.
Well, in the minute we have left, isn't that the way you're going to start your press junket at the Dungeons and Dragons live event that you're doing this weekend?
Sometimes,
dude. I mean, so people are going to pay money to watch you stand there and roll dice.
They're just going to pay money for jeans with holes in them.
Yeah.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.